I wanted to start making my own cakes because when I was a little girl for my birthday, my grandmother would always make me a doll cake. And I just absolutely loved it. When I had my first son 23 years ago, I wanted some spectacular cake for him. But in looking at the bakeries and that sort of thing, it was really expensive to get a themed birthday cake. So I started teaching myself, and I have learned a lot of tricks and tools that really make cake decorating not as scary as it seems. You know, a simple birthday cake from a bakery for 10 people, that could be at the very least $30, and you could do this at home for $10. What you want to do is just tear off a square of your parchment paper and then cut your parchment into 2 triangles. Now, to create your bag, you're going to have the point side down. Start with one corner and turn the corner around to meet the bottom corner. Then your third corner is twisted around to also meet the corners so that all 3 of your corners are met together. And you can see they're all pointing down. And you've already created this nice little tube. At this point, in order to make it stay together, you need to fold the points down to the outside so that your cone is completely even. So now you have your cone that's staying together. To help it continue to stay together, it's really helpful to cut a little notch back here where all of those corners have met. So you have a little notch cut out, 2 cuts side by side, and you fold it up, and that just keeps it all in place. I have some M&Ms and some gumdrops here, and what I'm going to do today is use with our little piping bag. I've dyed some of our buttercream icing green, and I'm going to make some little Christmas lights. So to finish it off, you know, you can do another layer of lights around the bottom. You can also just add more gumdrops. You can be creative and find so many different objects around your house to either go with the theme of your party or event or whatever you're doing. My very favorite way to decorate cakes is to use fresh flowers and fruit. A lot of people are intimidated by fondant, but the truth is, if you have ever played with Play-Doh, you can play with fondant and you can make really cool things. So I made these little designs in advance to let them dry. It is helpful if you're making any 3D type designs to make them the day before you're going to use it and let them dry overnight. With your rolling pin, just start rolling it out. And it's a little tough at times, but if you continue to turn it and flip it, it really is pretty forgiving and pretty manageable. I was making a wedding cake for my cousin about 10 years ago, and she asked for a very simple cake, which I was used to doing, but I hadn't really done that much with fondant. And she wanted a simple cake with a fondant bow on top. Well, I was terrified to do that. I had never worked with it, and I had no idea where to start. So I ended up paying $50 to a local bakery to make just the bow. The bow ended up costing more than my homemade cake. After that, I taught myself how to make a bow.
Soundstripe.